big game.
Welcome to the 10 Sports Action Round 3 Winfield Cup match between Parramatta and Manly. And today's State Bank big game is from the Parramatta Stadium. After 2 weeks of the Premiership, Parramatta have had 2 straight wins, beating both Newcastle and Balmain to be on 4 points. Manly are on 2 points after being beaten by Brisbane in round 1, but then coming back strongly to defeat North Sydney last weekend. Thanks for joining us for tonight's presentation. When we look back at these 2 great clubs, what fond memories they bring, particularly here at Parramatta Stadium.
Shearer, Jinx, taken by Kenny, got a pass away to Hasler. Hasler's weaved his way. He's gone beautifully. He's going to score. Yes, Hasler's in for a try. Marvellous individual effort. Oh, this is a try coming up. It is a try, yes. Plenty of pressure now for Manly. Linda going very close and he's there. Miles throws a dummy and goes forward. He slipped through the gap and he's going to go very close to scoring. It's a try to Manly. Sterling. Kenny's in. It's a good try. There's an overlap out here. He's got it on the Mungle and the Mungle's in for the try. Got a pass away to Shearer. He's run onto it beautifully. Should score in the corner here. Yes, he will. A beautiful try. Absolutely superb.
Boy, oh boy, what a great game that was. And when we look back even further, when it used to be Cumberland Oval, Parramatta and Manly played the last game here in 1981 before it was demolished to make way for the showpiece it is today. Well, Parramatta were the 1986 Winfield Cup champions and Manly-Warringah the 1987 champions and current premiers. Ian Maurice and Graham Hughes are in the dressing rooms to check the full team rundowns.
There's really nothing like a Parramatta-Manly match to get the pulse racing. I can't wait for this game to get started. I guess the question will be asked of the Parramatta forwards again. They were great last week against Balmain. They'll probably have to prove themselves again today. And what about the 5'8" Brett Scott filling in for Brett Kenny? Now here is the full Parramatta side. At fullback, Mick Delroy, followed by Chalmers, Erickson, Ella, Groth, Scott and Sterling. And the forwards, Linda, Taylor, Ford, Wynn, Mosley and Vernon. And the coach, of course, John Mooney.
Yes, we'll know Brett Kenny in that Parramatta lineup, but nobody in the Manly side will underestimate the skills of his replacement, Brett Scott. It does leave an advantage, to my way of thinking anyway, in the shape of Cliff Lyons in that 5'8" role. But I'm sure the Eels will be certainly keeping tabs on a very talented Manly backline. Right from that fullback position of Dale Shearer and Ronson, Burke, O'Connor, Davis, Lyons and Hazard. They were all in great form last week against Norths, and that win will give plenty of confidence to their forwards of Vorton, Cleal, Gately, McKinnon, Haggett and Daly, all under the watchful eye of coach Bobby Fulton.
Well, the Parramatta team making their way out, and it was a very tense dressing room in there. The atmosphere was just electric. They're really G'd up for a big performance here in front of their home crowd. And in front of their home crowd, the banners fly as Peter Sterling leads his team on. The fanatical Parramatta supporters.
And just as determined, the 87 Winfield Cup champions back on the rails with a huge win over North Sydney last weekend. Their forwards, big performances required, especially from that man there, Noel Cleal, I feel today. They've got to get over the top of this Parramatta 6 who played so well last weekend here at the stadium against Balmain. And there's the reception, no love lost for the Manly side here at Parramatta Stadium. The flags go up on the hill. All the supporters have made their way from Brookvale territory. But a big crowd on hand and plenty of Eels supporters here too.
And the referee, Eddie Ward from Brisbane. First time we've seen him on television. Of course, he's been refereeing senior games for many years, but now part of the New South Wales Rugby League. Time blown on, and we're underway in what should be a top game of rugby league. Watch these first tackles. Look at them. In they go, 3 and 4 at a time, the Parramatta forwards. They said earlier to me that they have to prove themselves every week, and they don't mind that, as McKinnon takes the tackle. Hasler out to Lyons, looks for Vorton, but the defence is too good. Right on the quarter line now, and a mistake from Lyons. The pass wasn't that good.
Yes, this pass coming to him very low down. He really had no right to get a pass like that at this stage of the game. Nerves coming out.
So Sterling works it for Parramatta inside the Manly quarter. It's gone with the feed. Here's Scott. Ella. Now it's back to Sterling. And look at the Manly forwards, just as keen, moving right in. That's where they're trying to get the Parramatta side as they swing the ball wide. Delroy comes in. Got it up to Linda down the blind side. Linda for the line and scores! Bobby Linda's in for the Eels.
And the State Bank replay from the elevated shot. This was just a solo effort, really. The great run by the big fella. He's got extraordinary pace and strength. The leg size of him would indicate great leg strength. See it again from ground level. The pass comes to him from Taylor, then out to Delroy, then on to Linda. Linda goes through the tackle of Borton, gets through and is caught by the jersey by Daly, but it's no good. He's far too close to the line.
There he is, the optometrist. Those who watched Eyewitness News on Friday night saw how good he is at his job and saw how good he is today down the blind side. The reception for Bobby Linda from the fanatical Parramatta supporters. Well, a stunned Manly side. What went wrong? As Ella tries to add the extras. He's about 11 metres in from touch, just inside the quarter line. Ella hits it straight and right between the posts, and the Eels race away to a 6-0 lead over Manly.
So it's been a great start for Parramatta, 6-0 over Manly. Vital scrum now, dangerous back line from the Sea Eagles. This will open up play for either side. But the penalty again comes for Manly. He's calling out Gary Vernon as the man being called out for not facing square on, I would suggest. So the differential, and Shearer to look for touch. This is the ideal opportunity now for the Sea Eagles to really bounce back.
Well, that was a casual kick. He's only gained a metre with that, and there was 15 yards on offer up to the 10-yard line.
I think he might have been trying to give themselves enough room to set up this blind side. Haggett's the man that's been throwing dummies and hung onto it. Vaught just steadying play down now. Haggett again looks for Cleal. He'll be on the charge on that blind side right throughout this match. Now they go to the backs. Hasler, Lyons. Lyons jinking around, nowhere to go. Now he offloads to Shearer, who straightens up. Again, good defence. Peter Wynn crashing over the top. Last tackle. Into the in goal from O'Connor. Chalmers. And he brings the ball out safely to take off the pressure.
There wasn't there some pressure on the Parramatta side too. Chalmers clearing things up and Ericsson running from that dummy half position. Forward. Just the simple running from dummy half to get themselves into a position where they can do something. They figure it's just about now. Here's Sterling almost through. Can he offload? Looking for support. Couldn't get the pass away. Right on his own quarter line. Mosley works a blind side as Taylor takes the pass. Last tackle now for the Eels. Back for Sterling. Shearer's waiting for it. No problem. Now he's got a problem. Linda takes him. Now up towards the halfway mark and lost the ball. Ronson carrying it loosely. Parramatta picked it up. Another bad mistake from Manly. So nothing going right for Manly in the early stages of this match. Sterling's pass finds Delroy. Good tackle from Burke. Blindside goes Growth. for Sterling. The kick and chase. Shearer out of one, got to the corner line. That's as far as he goes. Parramatta seem very keen to do things with the ball. They're moving it very quickly. Now here's Manly in possession, 30 metres out from their own line. Hasler to Lyons, now to Burke. Defence is good. Lyons, Crusher Cleel lurking on the blind side as always. To the halfway mark now as Daly plays it. Shearer. This is Chalmers. One-on-one. And Davis makes no mistake. Linda. Now Taylor. And to win. And then finds Ericsson. Backing up was Ford, then Ella, and now Growth down the touchline. Caught, get the pass away. It's been picked up by Ella. 6 more tackles as referee Ward ruled that it was touched by a Manly player. Everything going Parramatta's way. Here comes Wynn. Crashes into the Manly defence. Blindside again was Taylor, now Ella. Inside the Manly quarter. Picked up by Sterling. Then to Vernon, and then to Scott. Only 9 metres out. What will the Eels put on now? Sterling. Got it to Linda. Flicked it over to Chalmers. Chalmers picks it up and tries to put it over the line. Can't control it. Oh boy, what pressure for Manly.
Well, a comedy of errors there. The flick pass there by Chalmers to try to keep the ball in play. Chalmers was the man that came around for it. He tried desperately to get it over the line, and the ball went over the line before he could get there.
Now Hasler trying to work this scrum. Sterling claims him. Here's Vaughton. Linda and Taylor combined to put him down. Parramatta defence very good. McKinnon flicked it back one-handed, nicely picked up by Haggett. Right on the quarter line as Gately takes it away.
Yes, for the under-21s, it was a resounding victory to Parramatta by 28 points to 6. But hold on, if you're a Parramatta fan in the reserve grade, they came up 38 to Manly 10.
Certainly was a win in reserve grade. McKinnon again stands. Here's Desi Hasler. He has Dale Shearer in support on the inside. Now he uses Shearer. Well, Delroy stopped his progress partially. He picks up Lyons, and it's a great Manly try. That's the comeback they've been searching for. He's not happy about something, but he's got the 4 points, Cliffy Lyons.
Yes, a great move. There was McKinnon there standing in a tackle, popping the ball to Hasler. Hasler took off like a rabbit. He's away and sprinting hard. The defence comes to him. He's got Shearer there. He gives the pass to Shearer. It's taken by Delroy. Spins out of the tackle. Sees Lyons coming up on the outside of him. Gives the ball to Lyons, and Lyons goes in and scores the try. I don't think he appreciated the fact that Delroy came in over the top of him. Here's McKinnon, who's done this twice today. Stood in a tackle and got the ball loose. Now, Hasler is a beautiful sight when he's running. He's a pure athlete. He gets away, gets a beautiful pass away there at the what I consider was exactly the right moment, but Delroy was able to get to the tackle. Off to Shearer, then back into Lyons, and Lyons dives, and then we see Delroy come in late and Lyons not appreciated.
Well, the kick to come now from Michael O'Connor. About 12 in from touch. One of the best in the business. And he's made no mistake about it. So Manly hitting back strongly. The score at the stadium, Parramatta Manly 6-all. Well, that certainly is the dangers of that Manly backline. They certainly can put a try on from anywhere. McKinnon was able to stand. Great support play. Bronson now with Gately. Hasler, Lyons. Unloads, but that's a pressure pass for Burke.
Took it well.
Certainly did. He needed to. McKinnon. Again, attracts plenty of defence. Much more composed Manly now. Last tackle for the Seagulls, just short of their own halfway. Back it goes to Shearer. Well, that looks far too long. Just about into the crowd. So the scrum was all set to go down now with a Parramatta feed. About 42 metres out from the Manly line. Scott takes on Lyons, slips the ball back for Ella. Sights plenty of room up the middle. Well, he's certainly playing well, Ella. He played well against Balmain last weekend. Looking sharp in this comeback season for him in '88. Sterling. Plenty of latitude from the Manly defence, although Daly shortens him up. Taylor, Ella, Delroy into the back line. This time the Manly defence is holding. Chalmers. Again a strong tackle from Daly, last tackle for the Eels. Sterling. Oh, the defence just opened up there. It's off the uprights. This could be a try. It is! Well, straight off the uprights. If it was anybody else bar Peter Sterling, you'd say he meant the kick. A great rebound, and the man on the spot is Brett Scott.
Yes, this is a freakish bit of business, but Sterling is given much too much latitude when he runs here and kicks straight at the upright, appeared to do it deliberately. Brett Scott's come up with a try, there's no question about it, but look at the latitude Sterling was given. They're just standing there waiting for him to come to them and then grabbing the ball underneath their bodies. So it's an astonishing try. I swear he kicked directly for the post. See it again from head on, see what you think yourself. He's run 10 yards, 12 yards, and then grab a kick straight for the upright. Well, he's going to claim he kicked for the upright anyway.
There's the try scorer. Brett Scott, man with a very big job on his shoulders. Opposite Cliff Lyons. There's the man that they're giving plenty of room to. Don't know why, everybody knows how good he is. And there's the kick from Ella from right in front. No problem. So at the stadium now, it's Parramatta 12, Manly 6.
Michael O'Connor restarting for Manly, finding themselves, a bad mistake from Peter Ford.
Yes, he's made a couple today. That was a dead set easy catch. There was no pressure at all. He just, well, he stood there with his legs together and didn't seem to have any mobility in his body, any agility.
Well, the way he set himself there, I think that ball really bobbled on him a bit. He looked as though he's going to set the trap it, soccer style. Caught in two minds.
I was about to say Manly finding themselves 6 points behind. That's the break they may have needed straight away. Hasler getting it from Lyons. And still going. Ran back 3 to make 5. Straightening it up now is the centre three-quarter Matt Burke. Manly charging back. Vaughton to Lyons. And now Crusher. Crusher's out of one. Still going. Big fella got it away to Kagan, and Hagan scores. Put that down to Blossom. Blossom Cleo. That's what they call him in Warrialda.
Well, I reckon Crusher must have taken a bait here because he gets this pass from Lyons on the State Bank replay. He's tackled at that point and stopped, but he still keeps going. Look at the power of the legs and just drops the pass as he's about to go over. And there's Haggett there beside him to take the pass and score the try. See it again. Watch him run towards you. And this hobbledy gait that he comes up with. He's tackled by Delroy, pushes him off, gets underneath the tackle there. Now he's going strong and hard and then pops the pass beautifully to Charlie Haggett. And Charlie Haggett, the very, shall we say, unpopular, no, it's not the right word, the unfashionable. Unfashionable, that's the one. The unfashionable hooker is the man that comes up with a try. Michael O'Connor successful with a conversion, so we've got a scoreline that reads 12-all. Hell's bells.
Well, there's a great shot of the Parramatta Stadium and this huge crowd that's in here loving every minute of it. And what a football game we have. Billy Anderson tipped before this game that you'd see a marked contrast in styles, and we're certainly seeing that. Billy Anderson, you're spot on.
Yes, well, of course, what we're seeing here is Parramatta trying to move the big Manly side around. They're playing the ball very quickly, the Eels, and they're working mainly on using ball movement. In contrast to that, we've got Manly that are relying on power. You can see here Cleel hitting the ball up near the rucks. That's what the Eagles are trying to do. They're relying on thrust and then offloading as cracks start to appear. This is going to be a great game.
Sure is that. Shearer's kick is down for Chalmers. And he's put down unceremoniously. Now Growth. Oh, geez, lost the ball too. It's been picked up by McKinnon. Here's Cleel again. Cleel's linking up with O'Connor, and now it's Stuart Davis dancing and weaving around. Lions. And the little kick through is a chase on. Here comes Shearer. Shearer is there to touch down and score what turned out to be a simple try, but beautifully worked out.
Well, the State Bank replay shows Lyons at his best here when he jinks and weaves, dummies to throw the long pass, and I swear he's got mental telepathy with Shearer, because Shearer knew there was going to be a kick there, and he's not even moving fast to score it now. He's got no Parramatta defender within 15 metres of him. See it again. Now watch Lyons. He'll go across field 15 to 20 yards, still going. Then the little kick, low trajectory kick, bounces just short of the goal line, goes into the in goal. Shearer not moving quickly, just puts his hand on the ball. Dead set easy.
It wasn't an easy try to Dale Shearer, but one of the reasons why they managed to come up was Parramatta was short out wide, because Eric Growth was the man that was down injured and still down, and a major problem again. Here it is. Watch him scream out here when he loses this ball. He's grabbed by the back leg. His knee just starts to buckle under him here. Here comes the pain. Have a look at it. And that's where he lost the ball, and he stayed there, and they were one short out in the back line.
Great thinking from Lyons. Now O'Connor has 2 from 2 from the touchline. Hits this one, and it's 1 up and 1 down, and the referee rules a goal. Referee awarded the goal. So a magnificent kick from O'Connor. Let's have a look at that again. This is how the touch judges saw it. Well, 1 up and 1 down. I reckon that was a goal all the way.
Yes, I can't see what the right-hand touch judge had to say about that. 18 points to 12. Manly lead Parramatta.
Here comes Cleel on the short line. No trouble in beating Taylor. Back inside it goes for Charlie Haggett. Well, it's a second occasion he's fed off Cleel. Back for Lyons. Quickly to Davis. He has support. Back to Haggett. He's got Michael O'Connor if he uses him up. Here comes Erickson. Great tackle. Well, great cover from Michael Erickson to get there. The crowd loving this game. Should have been a try, but great defence by Michael Erickson to get back there in cover. Well, I don't know how the players can handle the pace of this one, from one end of the field to the other.
Did you see the pace of Charlie Haggett? Twice he was involved in that movement and ran like a three-quarter each time.
Certainly having a big game, and now Eddie Ward has caught Peter Ford offside after that ball was lost, ruling that he was, well, it's Brett Scott, in fact. He's ruled that, well, he's lost the ball. To my way of thinking, he came from an onside position.
O'Connor was very unhappy with his goal kicking last week. He only got 6 from 10.
Great performance so far and from the quarter line. Well, he's hooked that one. So that score remains at the stadium. Manly 18, Parramatta 12.
Steve Ella restarting for the Eels. What a game this has been. Non-stop action. And here comes Manly once again. Right on the halfway mark, the handling errors, 7-4 with Parramatta losing that ball 7 times, but the pace of this game, you'd excuse anything, wouldn't you? Been tremendous. Here comes McKinnon. McKinnon playing very well.
He's having a blinder, really. He's causing a hell of a lot of trouble for the Parramatta pack.
Cleal. Gee, Bill Anderson, you were worried about the Parramatta forwards creating some holes around there for Manly. This is happening.
Mate, I thought last week that Parramatta had a few problems. Oh, look at O'Connor.
Problems now, Bill, as O'Connor sets sail and got support from Lyons, and Lyons is in under the post. Oh, how sweet that is for Manly.
What a superb try coming from the sheer brilliance and artistry of this Michael O'Connor. Here he comes now on the State Bank replay. Watch the footwork as he gets it there, accelerates through the gap, beautiful, comes to the fullback, steps in, gets around him, and then unloads the pass to Lyons on the outside of him. That was absolute poetry in motion. Doesn't matter that he's a Manly player. He could be anybody, but the beautiful thing is he just holds himself back a little bit, gives himself a little bit of room to move. The beautiful jig of the body, the control of the football, and Lyons in for an absolute dead set, easy try.
There it is, 24-12, Manly over Parramatta.
We've had 36 points scored in 30 minutes.
It's been sensational stuff. Eric Growth has left the field.
Brett Garnon, wearing number 18, has taken his place. Growth, very unhappy figure as he left the field with that ankle strain.
Okay, now Manly get the penalty. Holding in the ruck. So Shearer. Finds touch. About 8 metres short of the halfway mark. Manly keen to do things now, playing with plenty of confidence. Now comes McKinnon. Gately, caught by Ford. And again Cleal, who's caused a lot of damage and causing more damage, offloading away. The pass has gone astray. It's been picked up by Ericsson over the line, but the penalty has been given to Manly. A late tackle.
Michael O'Connor claiming he should have got a penalty try on that occasion. There would be few to doubt it. Here he is held back from getting to the ball. I think that possibly he would have beaten Garnon to that ball, but it wasn't to be. He's going to get a penalty kick at goal.
Yes, Taylor holding him back. And they've taken a quick tap instead. Here's Vaughton. So things certainly going Manly's way now. It's to Cleal again. Cleal found support too from Gately. Gately very close to the line. Very close, not quite there. Now what can they do? Here's Vaughton again. The defence moved up very quickly. It's Lyons. Lyons got it away to Burke. Burke is caught 4 metres out. Shearer dummy half, runs from that position and reaches out and scores. Well, Dale Shearer moved into dummy half and did the job.
He's only the size of a shearer's dog, is Shearer, but he had the power to go through the Parramatta pack there on that occasion, close to the ruck. He's got through the tackle of Mosley dead easy, as if he wasn't there, and that is a simple try from 7 or 8 metres out, a try that should never have been scored by any team against any side.
And this one is out to the right and won't come in for him. Unsuccessful. So the score, 28-12, Manly over Parramatta.
So after a great start from Parramatta, things have certainly changed. Manly into full gear now. So, sight we've seen plenty of times so far in this first half. Ronson brings the ball back up over the quarter line.
4 times he's taken the ball.
Gately on the charge. The defence not as keen as it was early. They started at a cracking pace. It's starting to take its toll. Daly. Manly have certainly come into their own. Bill, do you think that pace could have been kept up the way Parramatta started?
No, I don't, but as I suggested in the Eyewitness News on Friday night, I wasn't totally convinced with these Parramatta forwards in their game against Barlow. Break by Hasler here, looking for support.
Well, here he goes again. There is support there. Big Donny McKinnon. Could it while he was looking for Cliff Lyons. It would have been his third.
Quick play of the ball required, and another try should be on the board. They're on the rack, Parramatta. Haggett, Borton, easy. No defence to beat. All too easy. The defence just couldn't get back there in time, and there was no one to beat for the skipper, Paul Borton.
Well, there's Paul Borton, the concluding aspect of the try, going over like a, well, he looked like a Clydesdale going through there. There was all power, but there he is coming straight at us. He'd made up his mind he was going to score a try from 10, 12 metres out. But I do admire big Don McKinnon in the movement leading up to that. I thought he was going to score a try underneath the posts. And here it is. This is where it started from, and this is the drama of it. Shearer was the man that jinked and weaved and got his pass away to Hasler, who just look at the way he can accelerate away from everybody. He's just gone there. He'll get the pass there to McKinnon. Now watch McKinnon. He sights the line. He thinks I'm going to score, but he's held up, and that was the move that led to the try by Borton. Great stuff.
And an easy kick from Michael O'Connor. There it is, adding to his tally, and a remarkable scoreline in the first half here in this State Bank big game. Manly 34, Parramatta 12. 46 points so far in this first half, and we're not finished yet. This time they try the short kick-off. Gately to play the ball. Shearer. This time he doesn't get away and managed to stand and unload. 5 tries for Manly in the last 14 minutes. Lions. O'Connor. Well, did he grab that ball again before it touched the ground? Eddie Ward says no and rules the knock on.
Here it is again on the State Bank replay. The pass from Lyons out there to O'Connor. No, he did appear to drop it right at the end. Amazing hands let him down.
Good decision. Oh, that's for sure. For sure and certain. He's got Borton and Gately, the forward, from breaking from that scrum. Well and truly before the ball had come out. So Parramatta desperate for a try just before the halftime break. What can they come up with? Sterling now with the ball. Taylor. Ella. Scott. Delroy. Going to be all too flat when he took that ball. No one really coming onto it. Scott. Peter Ford. The steam well and truly taken out of the Eels so far. Sterling. Back it goes for Ella. He'll play it about 15 metres out and right in front of the post. Sterling goes wide for Scott. Steps inside. Ella, Cleal, who comes again. Well, again, there's the try line, just metres away. Last tackle. Sterling, one of his grubbers maybe again. Looks for a short pass for Scott. He didn't read that. Chalmers goes back for it. Chips into the end goal, but that'll be too far. So Manly now just to play out the last couple of moments.
Yes, this is the play on the State Bank replay. Sterling getting the pass away. It was knocked down. Chalmers thought he'd come up with a little kick over the top. Comes round, gets the right foot to it, and is prepared to chase it as hard as he can, but the ball goes over the dead ball line.
Gately. Back inside for Shearer. There's the siren. Hasler keeps it alive. Lyons back inside for Burke. They're not finished yet, Manly. Still going as Burke. McKinnon can't handle it. Delroy comes back with it. So Parramatta on the surge. Crowd reacting to what they felt was a high tackle. Eddie Ward's going to have something to say to Cliff Lyons.
Let's have a look at this on the State Bank replay. That was a little bit indecisive. He stopped very, very hard. I've subscribed to the view that I've got him along the top of the chest.
Yeah,
did you pick that?
Really didn't think there was much in it. There it is there. He's grabbed him around the chest. So on the spot of the decision, Eddie Ward had to make it quickly. And he had the crowd in the background, of course. Always worth something, that old home ground advantage when the big crowd's there, putting a bit of pressure on the man in the middle. So what will happen here? Will Sterling go for the bomb? He goes wide on the run around. Now the kick for the backs. Stuart Davis is the man that's got to handle it. Well, he's fumbled into the in goal. And he just forces it dead in goal. So that'll be the end of the section. An incredible first 40 minutes. Manly 34, Parramatta 12.
As summer draws to a close in Sydney, we go from a grade cricket semi-final played in front of a few friends and family, and next door, Manly and Parramatta in front of considerably more people. And there is the half-time score, 34-12. Manly over Parramatta. And there is one change in the Parramatta side for the second half. Krenkovic is there to replace Delroy at fullback. Bearing in mind there was the change in the first half when Eric Growth came off, replaced by Brett Garner. And time signalled on for the second half. I'll remind you that the first round in 1987 between these two sides, Manly won by 24 points. Is this a replay? Now, what can Parramatta do? Chalmers takes the play up to the quarter line. There are the first half tacklers. Mosley and Wynn showing the way for Parramatta in their 76, and considerably small tackle count, but evenly distributed by Manly. Now Mosley allowed some room to move before he's pulled down. Sterling working blindside as Ford takes it. Works his way up towards the halfway mark. Last tackle now for Parramatta. Sterling. The kick is down for Shearer. Runs away from Eriksson. And Eriksson comes at him and holds him. Burke. Good gain down the blind side. Here's McKinnon. He's had an outstanding first half. Again down the blind side is Cleo. And able to offload too. Haggett following him all the way today.
Like a shearer's dog.
Now, Lyons. Inside for O'Connor. O'Connor. Still going O'Connor. And the pass offloaded to Gately. Here's McKinnon. McKinnon to the try line in front of him. Reaches out and scores. Donnie McKinnon. I don't believe it.
Yes, an astonishing try on the State Bank replay. Lyons gets the ball out here, turns it back inside to O'Connor. Just look at the footwork on this man. He gets around a tackle, pops a pass. The pass goes to Gately. Gately goes along, turns it back on the inside to Don McKinnon. Now, this is a momentous moment. He doesn't score many tries, but he scored that one. And it's a great move. Now, there's a great sight. The big fella, all 15 and a half, nearly 16 stone of him, going strong and hard in his 31st year. 31 years of age.
But that's not a good sight, Rex. Unfortunately, Donnie McKinnon, in scoring that try, has injured himself, and they've immediately called for a stretcher.
Well, they're very careful over his elbow, whether he's dislocated an elbow or a shoulder. Just watch how awkward it is when he goes down and plants this ball. Well, there's his elbow and shoulder all going the wrong way for him.
Well, he's still giving a bit of cheek there lying on the ground. I don't know exactly what the problem is. It may be that the right elbow was dislocated or the right shoulder was dislocated, because he came down very, very hard on it, particularly with Peter Wynn coming in over the top legitimately to tackle him. But he'll be a loss. He's been in rampaging form, an astonishing display. And a fellow that it was given the big A by a club. North Sydney didn't want him anymore.
Well, there's the Manly doctor out there. They look as though they're trying to pull that shoulder or elbow back into place. Alan Cunningham will be the man to come on.
He's a pretty tough character.
Well, the Manly crowd applauding Don McKinnon as he's assisted from the field after scoring that try. He only played 6 first-grade games last year for Norths and scored only 1 try. But what a game he's had today, and that's shocking luck for him. Michael O'Connor, who's had 7 kicks and missed only 2, attempting the conversion of McKinnon's try. Scored about 10 yards from the left-hand upright. Makes no mistake. So Manly increased their lead. Rather embarrassing for Parramatta supporters, 40-12. Started this match with a try in probably the first 90 seconds or so. raised the hopes of the Parramatta supporters. But things like that only dampen their enthusiasm, but it's still alive. Play on, said the referee, and Parramatta are still in this now as Mosley is crashed to the ground right on the quarter line. Here's Taylor and Sterling and Ford and now Lindner. Can he offload? He can. Sterling has it. Back for Ford. And a good tackle right around the ankles from Lyons puts him down. Ericsson from dummy half. Took it to about 3 metres from the line. Sterling to Ella. The pass back inside to Sterling. Play on, said the referee. 6 more tackles touched by Manly. Now, can the Eels put a try on the board this half? Away goes Wynn. He spilled it. Manly come up with it. Pressure off for Manly. As Gately just takes a step or two from the dummy half position. Now Shearer took considerably more than a step or two. Now the crowd calling for a forward pass, but those pleas ignored by referee Ward. The Parramatta, of course, now with a reshuffle in their back line as Shearer sends it downfield. And Garman picks it up. He's got all those Manly players offside. Now they're okay.
So Parramatta well and truly with the entire game before them. A huge performance required. Now Bobby Lindner hasn't given up. Scott. Really was a game of counter-attack in the first half, but it's been all one-way traffic since late in that first 40 minutes. Real problems for Parramatta after a couple of changes. You're not really wrapped in the way they've set their pack up for this game.
Well, Graham, I thought they had problems last week against Balmain, but Balmain didn't capitalise on them around the rucks. But Terry Leadbeater, I felt, played pretty well last week. Now, he's got to be an unlucky man. Vernon's come into the side, but I don't think he's done anything that Leadbeater couldn't have. I'm sure if Mooney was starting all over again, he'd have Leadbeater in his starting side.
Right. Of course, Leadbeater was in a resounding victory in reserve grade. Last tackle for the Eels. Sterling with the normal kick into the in goal. Shearer, well, he's much too good. Great player, plenty of room that he's sort of made for himself there. There was 2 and 3 chases there. And now this will be against Sterling for trying to rack the ball out of the hand. Well, he's got Shearer, in fact, for not getting up and playing the ball correctly. I thought it was the Parramatta hand in that ruck.
Yeah, I think he was a bit tough on him here. The ball was knocked out of his hands by Sterling. There's no question about it. And that should have been a penalty to Manly. Anyway, it's not gone that way.
Well, the ball was touched, so nothing going right for Parramatta. Penalty this time for Manly. This will be against the Parramatta front row for collapsing. So the penalty that should have gone Shearer's way finally comes for Manly. About 30 metres out now. Daly on the charge for the Sea Eagles. Certainly have found plenty of gaps up the middle in this game. Gately. They really have tried to power over the Parramatta forwards. Cleals caused them plenty of trouble. Always requiring 2 and 3 men to put him down. Lawton, Shearer. This time wrapped up by Scott. There's Hasler. Lyons. Burke. The overlap here for Davis. Burke's doubled around in support. Davis now looking back on the inside. He goes wide for Burke. But Michael Ericsson's the man that'll come up with the ball for Parramatta.
Yes, this was a misdirected pass by Davis. It was intercepted so easily. He was attempting to get it out there to Burke, but the pass was intercepted, and now Parramatta are back in possession of their own quarter.
And it's through Vernon and Scott. Now room to move for Parramatta as they come down this blind through Garnan. Peter Wynn. Massive scoreline here in this State Bank big game. 40-12, Manly over Parramatta. Frankovic joins into the back line. Back for Sterling. Looks for a runner. He finds Bob Lidner.
Good tackle.
Well, it was a good tackle from Daly. He was looking for support. It just wasn't there. Sterling on the last tackle decides to keep the ball alive. Scott back for Sterling, and he can't handle it. It'll be a Manly ball. Cleal. Standing very flat when he took it, but still made a good 8 or 10 metres. So Manly sticking to their guns where they've tried to take Parramatta on the forwards. Here they go. They power up the middle again. Charlie Haggett. He's played well in the open for Manly. Last tackle for the Sea Eagles. Shearer back for Cunningham. Gately. The big forward goes for the kick. Charge down. 6 more, says the referee. That ball's been kicked up into Michael O'Connor. It wasn't a knock on. Ball still alive now. Comes back for Gately. Can he unload? Michael O'Connor. The ball goes loose, and it's Parramatta who comes up with it. So finally, as this game starts to slacken maybe somewhat in pace, a few mistakes. And the players enjoying maybe a little bit of a spell.
Well, Parramatta now desperately trying to do something for their fans at least. Here's Sterling. And pass straight into the waiting arms of Lyons. And how easy is that try? Cliff Lyons will not score an easier try in his life.
The remarkable thing about the try was the pass came from Sterling. Sterling tried to hold it up, did a little semi-dummy, and Lyons swooped on it. See it again. Here he is, Sterling, just holds the pass up, gives it to Lyons, straight to him. He's not got a better pass all day. And he sprints away the 30 metres to score a try right between the posts. And from another angle, we'll see it. Watch Lyons come up very quickly. Here he goes. Sterling, little jink, gets the pass away, and it's straight to Lyons. I mean, it's just one of those extraordinary mistakes a great player can make occasionally, and he'll regret that. But Lyons in for a try.
Cliff Lyons, the try scorer. Well, Peter Sterling, how would he feel? He's seen his side get hammered by Manly. He's contributed to that try. He probably wished he hadn't got out of bed this morning. No mistakes, easy conversion. And Manly go further in front, 46-12.
Scoreline. Manly far too good. Here's Cleal right up the middle. It's where the gaps have been coming. Back it goes. He's been there all day, Charlie Haggett. Last tackle. He wants to get to his feet quickly. Cleal again on the blind. The crusher. Back it goes for O'Connor. He's clear. Players calling for the kick ahead. Desi Hasler in pursuit. Garnan's back there for Parramatta, though. They'll try and get him back into the end goal, but he manages to stay in play. Eriksson will try and bring it back. Parramatta getting back very, very slowly. Peter Ford. Frankovic. Just how important is Brett Kenny to this Parramatta outfit. He played well against Balmain before going off last week. Frankovic finds a gap. One of the few in the second half here for Parramatta. He's got no support. While he was looking for backs, he had Michael Mosley doing his best to reach him.
The crowd booing their own team, one would suggest.
Well, they've got a full back line here. Ella can only unload back in the middle, though, for Scott and Sterling. Win. Up the middle, says Michael Mosley. He spins, gives the ball back to Peter Ford. Dummies, still going, gets it back for Paul Taylor. Well, again, he's running around not knowing where to go. The crowd upset with the Eels. It's the last tackle, 10 metres out from the Manly line. Sterling. Short ball for Lidner. And that'll be a turnover.
Turnover number 3 in this match. As Shearer again brings it away. Davis. This has been a very strong performance from Manly. I know when you're that far in front, it might be easy to be a little careless, but Bill, they have stuck to their game plan right from the start.
They've stuck religiously. You can see here the obvious penalty here. Paul Taylor holding down in the play of the ball. He didn't make any effort to get up, and he has to, but they have stuck well to what they set out to do. They've taken Parramatta on in the forwards and got over the top of them. We should see here from this tap that they do exactly the same thing. They'll spear it up for 3 or 4 and make good yardage. Here's the replacement now. Paul Shaw wearing 14, and isn't he a great player to be able to send on as a replacement? He'll be coming onto this Manly side and provide even more spark. The player coming off, Phil Daly, after a big one.
Yes, I agree with you about the big one. Daly's had a monumental game for Manly.
Here's Hasler. And Gately taking play inside the Parramatta half again. Cleal. The big don't argue. Just pushed Peter Ford off as if he wasn't there. Now Shearer living in that back line now. Vaughton spinning out of it, finding support from Shearer. It's on again. Shearer runs right away from Krankovic, and he'll score under the post. Great individual try from Dale Shearer.
Yes, a beautiful try from Dale Shearer. His third for the match. Here it comes on the State Bank replay. He gave the ball to Vaughton. Vaughton fights hard to get free of the tackle, and does so. Gets nearly into the clear, gets it away to Shearer there. Now he's faced with a fullback. Wrong foots him completely with a good step and goes straight ahead. Avoids the other tackle of Ford coming through, and it's a try right underneath the post. Let's watch it from another angle. No, we'll go to the goal kicker, but that was a great one indeed. Dale Shearer. Rejecting the form that he showed in the Broncos game.
And Connor makes no mistake. So there it is. Well, the half century's up. 52-12. Manly over Parramatta.
Yes, let's see that again from another angle. You'll see Vaughton fire away here. There he goes. He spins in the tackle, spins like a top, spins himself free of Mosley and pops the pass to Shearer. Now Shearer's one of the quickest things on a football field. A beautiful swerve. That wasn't so much a sidestep as a straight out body swerve, and that was sufficient to put him in the clear from Krankovic. Great stuff.
Manly now have scored 9 tries. Astonishing stuff.
You're surprised?
Are you?
Well, I am surprised. I thought they'd only score 7.
Oh. Okay, here they are again. In possession. McLeal losing it behind him. And he's Shaw. Yes, he's ducking and weaving, the fresh player, of course. As Billy Anderson pointed out, it's great to have a player like him to come on at this stage. Very demoralising for Parramatta if they aren't already that way. Matt Burke away. Nicely tackled though by Krankovic. Hasler, and now Cleal and Vaughton. Knocked down by Steve Ella. Chalmers picks it up, but referee Ward will recall it for the knock on from Ella.
Yes, again we see Vaughton just holding the pass a fraction too long, and Ella coming in and being able to deflect it. That stopped the Manly surge, but they get the scrum put in anyway.
Liddy Ward having a lot of trouble with his scrum. They brought a rule out some time ago that a halfback was only to have 1 attempt at putting the ball in. Whatever happened to that rule?
Well, it's gone by the board. If I don't remember it, to be quite honest, but
well, it wasn't a written law. It was just an agreement.
An agreement. Yes, well, you know how long agreements last in rugby league.
Now Lyons back to Shaw.
The whole focus of Manly's play now is on Shaw. Everyone wants to give him the ball.
Vaughton and Cleal. Able to offload too with that man Haggett. He's been living out of Crusher's pocket. Now Cleal again. Back again to Gately and Haggett and Shaw and Lyons and O'Connor. Coming back the other way, got around Sterling. Still going O'Connor to the quarter line. Does anybody want to tackle him? He's got it out now to Matt Burke.
Burke 10 metres out. Oh, how easy is this? Burke underneath the post.
That'll do Burke a hell of a lot of good because he's a rugby union convert that not really has been fitted into this Manly side. They persevered with him, Bobby Fulton, and he's come good with a try. Now that's going to do his confidence a lot of good. And here's the way it came. There's O'Connor going for the step and absolutely wrong-footing the zip-zip man. Just beautiful the way he moves. But we've said enough about him. Just watch the way he links with support here. A long pass out to Burke, who then props on the right foot and comes back on the inside and scores a very comfortable try as it turned out. It had to be scored though. There was not much in the way of help from anyone else. He had 3 defenders to beat. Now here's the start of it with Michael O'Connor again stepping remarkably. Quite an astonishing player. Broken field runner, the long pass out to Burke. Burke decides to go straight for the goals. He does that, he avoids the tackle of Eriksson, and Krankovic is beaten pointless. And now it's getting into that, well, shall we say, embarrassing stage.
Yes, well, O'Connor's made it even more embarrassing with this conversion from right in front. Makes absolutely no mistake. And it is now 58 to 12.
Monie's got all sorts of problems here. They started to surface last week, but were camouflaged by that big win over Balmain. They've got problems here. He's going to have to make changes next week.
Well, that's certainly on the cards. The last tackle of Sterling just searches deep from the kick. Another opportunity for Shearer. How dangerous is this man? Easy. Look at the pace. Incredible pace. Back for Cleal. They're hungry again, the Sea Eagles. On the charge goes the big man. Quick play of the ball required. He just brushes Sterling away and gets the penalty. Little else that Sterling could do.
Well, this shows the sort of state that Parramatta have reached. Sterling's still trying to hang on, but Crusher Cleal just brushes him away like a small gnat.
So here come the Manly side again. Only 15 out. Look at Gately running at 100 miles an hour straight into the Parramatta defence. You'd think they'd just started. Borton going to get across to Cunningham. Now they're only 3 metres out. They're looking for try number 11. Crusher Cleal can't get his arms free. That's how close they are. Shaw to Shearer. And away to O'Connor, and he's in again.
Well, that's the first try he scored, but he's kicked a number of goals, 9 of them. Yeah, that was nice. Well, I've used the adjective astonishing a number of times. This was Shearer on the inside. Michael O'Connor put into a gap that you could have driven a fairly large and ponderous horse into. And here it comes again from Shaw out to Shearer. Shearer sucks the defence to him. And there's not a hand laid on O'Connor as he goes in and scores the most beautiful of tries. From the back, Shearer, the big hole, the acceleration, the dive.
Look at 9 goals from 11 attempts.
I think some of the Parramatta fans think the game's over. They're leaving the arena at the moment.
Well, look at the Manly fans worshipping their side. Praise the gods out there. And Michael O'Connor doesn't mind coming out to Parramatta at all. He rather enjoys this. From about 9 metres from touch. Can he do anything wrong, this fellow? Look at that scoreline. 64 to 12. Is that the $64 question?
That's the $64 answer.
Well, I mentioned earlier in the game about Manly scoring 70 points against Penrith 15 years ago or so. I really didn't think that they were going to get near it. They're only a converted try from it.
That's right. It's become a very embarrassing game for Parramatta.
And look at Cleal still offloading to Shaw, and he's got support, but this time, hallelujah, Manly's made a mistake.
Yes, Ronson put that one down. The pass from Shaw was not acceptable to him. The one from Cleal to Shaw was a good one. He came on the burst, then young Shaw stopped and propped and gave the pass, and it went to ground.
Well, the only heartening thing for this Parramatta side is that their lower grades won handsomely. It's certainly nowhere near as handsomely as Manly is winning this. But if they're going to make changes, and they'll obviously have to, they must have some players down there to choose from. Here's Ericsson. He's tried all day. Now Wynn up to the quarter line. What Parramatta fans are left are urging their side to hang on to the ball so Manly can't score. Another one. This is forward. Now to Sterling and to Scott. Last tackle now for Parramatta. Sterling hanging in the air, that kick. Taken though by, well, it was taken by Ronson.
Yes, Ronson took it out of Shearer's hands, actually. They're fighting over the ball, but it was a bomb, a defused bomb, and now Manly are off the hook and they're back to the quarter.
Shaw. Nowhere to go. Parramatta fans can't wait for this full-time siren to sound. Those that are left, that is. Cunningham. And there it is. And referee Ward says, that'll do us. And the embarrassing scoreline as the Manly fans wave their banners. 64 points to 12.
Yes, a remarkable display, and there is the awful evidence of the decimation that took place here. The massacre of Parramatta Park, we should call it. Lions 3, Shearer 3, Haggett 1, Vaughton, McKinnon, Burke and O'Connor. And O'Connor 10 goals. That is an astonishing tally. That's 24 points to O'Connor. Linda came up with a try, Scott a try, and Ella 2 goals. So 64 points to 12. I've got the most difficult job in the world at the moment. I've got to try to designate a man of the match out of this.
Well, our State Bank man of the match, Don McKinnon, I think is still pinching himself. Don, what about that scoreline?
Yeah, it was pretty incredible. I never thought I'd see Parramatta get beaten by that sort of score, let alone playing a team that beat them by that much. But you know, everything went our way, and their backs really played brilliantly and scored a heap of good tries. It was a great game.
They came at you hard in the opening minutes. Was it the instructions from Bobby Fulton, take them on up the middle?
No, not really. We thought they'd have a few gaps wide because they sort of pack it up around the dummy half area, and you know, that after 12-6, after about 10 minutes, I thought it was going to be a fairly hard game, but it didn't turn out that way.
Picked up a try for yourself, dislocated shoulder in the bargain as well.
Yeah, a bit unlucky. I got rolled over as I reached out to put it over, and the shoulder went out backwards.
Serve you right for scoring tries, front rowers.
They're few and far between, mate.
Well done. Courtesy of the State Bank, going straight into an account, $1,000 in the form of a high daily interest State Saver savings account.
Thanks very much, Graham. I'd just like to thank the State Bank very much, and Channel 10 as well. Thank you.
Well, but it's as simple as that, up the middle, big man's going to beat a good little man.
Well, they're the rules, aren't they? I mean, irrespective of you know, how good you are being a small person, you're not going to be able to consistently tackle big people like we've got. And the average weight of our pack today was very close to 17 stone. And in saying that, most of the guys in the pack, well, just about the lot, are just as mobile as their Parramatta counterparts. So, you know.
Well, after that Brisbane loss, a very happy man, 2 wins on the trot, back on the rails, the Premier.
That's probably the most pleasing part about the game, Graham, was that being behind 6 blot and then 12-6, and went on with the job in the second half.
Parramatta, should people just come out automatically now and put a line through the Eels in 88?
No, I don't think so. I mean, you've only cast your mind back 2 weeks. I mean, you know, 2 weeks ago I was feeling like Marnie would be feeling now. It's a situation. You'll get them back on the tracks. They're a good side and they've got plenty of great players, and we bounce back, and there's no reason why they won't.
Does it become the bottom line then for top clubs that injuries just draw the line between the chance of winning a premiership?
I think, and mistakes. Mistakes in your own danger area. I mean, when you start making mistakes consistently inside your own 22-metre line, you're in plenty of bother. And if you have a look at, you know, the Balmain Parramatta game last week, considering Balmain were one player down, they made a heck of a lot of errors inside their own 22 on their following play. Parramatta scored tries.
I know you'll give me an honest answer. Did you really expect to win and win well?
No, obviously I wouldn't. I mean, those types of games just happen.
I don't really know what to say to a coach that's just suffered a beating like that.
Well, it's the worst scoreline that I've ever seen.
Is it the worst beating you've been involved in?
One day over at Brookvale Oval when I coached the reserve grade side, I was sitting there hoping that the opposition didn't reach 50, but we've outdone that today.
Well, what do you do?
Well, I think what we've got to do is take a leaf out of Manly's book, and they certainly turned things around after they copped a hiding up in Brisbane, and, you know, we've got to do the same.
Was there anything good to come out of today at all?
I couldn't find it.
Well, I've got to say truthfully that I'm very, very sorry for John Money. That was a horrendous performance today by his team. The Manly side really asserted their superiority. He'll have to do something. What it'll be, he'll have to make that decision. What about this weekend's results? I can only come up with 6 results out of 8 this week, 5 the week before. But Canterbury 14, East 10 on the Friday night. Canberra 34, South 6. That was a great result if you're a Canberra fan. Cronulla 13, Gold Coast Tweed 12. Newcastle 20, Balmain 16, that will shock many people. Penrith 29, North Sydney 2, that won't shock many people. Brisbane 38, Wests 4. Illawarra 20, St George 4, that'll be a shock to a lot. And Manly, well, 64, Parramatta 12. OK, the premiership table looks this way. Canberra, Brisbane, Canterbury all on 6. Penrith, Manly, Parramatta, Newcastle, Souths on 4. Illawarra 3, Balmain, Cronulla, St George 2. Gold Coast, Tweed 1, and Easts, Wests and Norths all yet to record a win. Next weekend's games, well, we've got a good selection. Penrith and Parramatta, Manly and Newcastle, interesting. Norths and Brisbane, Balmain and Wests, Canterbury and Canberra, another good one. Souths and Illawarra, Cronulla and Eastern Suburbs, and Gold Coast, Tweed against St George. Well, on Wednesday night, next at the Parramatta Stadium, we have the first quarter-final of the National Panasonic Cup between South Sydney and Cronulla, and that should be a damn good game of rugby league. Well, I hope you've enjoyed the telecast. It was a little bit like a game of touch football there for a while, wasn't it? Anyway, we've enjoyed it. I hope you've enjoyed it. And this is Rex Mossop on behalf of all the crew signing off and saying have a very good night.
Miss Piggy, Juice Newton and that Alabama wild man Jerry Reed are all guests on The Dolly Show. That's next on 10.
Incredibly after they trailed Parramatta.
You know, at 12-6 yesterday, when they were leading, I thought, well, we're in for a pretty hard game here.
It turned out to be about as hard as marshmallow. The classic beach against bitumen encounter became an 11-try carnival for the Sea Eagles, all that high-priced talent clicking at once for a record score against the Eels.
Easy! This is probably one of the greatest wins I've ever been involved with, and it was especially good because it was Parramatta we beat.
Vorton says Parra didn't throw in the towel. They were driven to incompetence by a better team. Tim Sheridan, National 9 News.
Good evening again. If you're a Labor supporter, you'd no doubt be feeling as sick as a dog tonight, but if you're a Labor supporter and a Parramatta supporter, you'd be just about ready to jump off the gap. 24 hours after the slaughter at Parramatta Stadium, I still have to pinch myself to realise it really happened, and I never thought I'd say it, but it's true. I actually have plenty of sympathy for the Eels supporters.
Manly's absolute massacre of Parramatta yesterday has raised more than a few questions about the Eels. The Sea Eagles pack destroyed the Parramatta 6, so people very quickly now say the Eels just aren't good enough up front. On yesterday's display, what could coach John Mooney say, except...
Well, I'd agree with people.
Well, at least a brave smile from Mooney, but there were few on field during the 80 minutes embarrassment. For one of the game's best, Peter Sterling, today's headlines certainly summed up the clash, although there is life in football after Black Sunday, the 20th of March.
Yeah, it was shameful, sure. You know, we feel as though we've got a lot of pride in our club and ourselves as players, but mate, I got up this morning, the sun was still shining, so I knew it wasn't the end of the world. To me, the big test is this Sunday, you know, really probably more so than what happened last Sunday. A side with character and ability will come back, as Manly did. You know, I think they've scored 100 points since they got beaten by the Broncos, so... You know, the test is next Sunday afternoon and how we approach it this week and what our performance is like at Penrith Park.
Well, it was nice and difficult for the players yesterday, but what can you honestly say for the fans that were there?
You know, the fans deserve better than what they got, but
I'm more concerned about myself and the 12 blokes who are out there than it may be a hard thing to say, you know, because you like to play well for your fans, but we like to play well for ourselves too, and we were probably more concerned about our inner feelings than really what, you know, we were copying from the fans. They deserve better, and I, you know, can promise them that they will get better, but we've got to satisfy ourselves before we satisfy anyone else.
Talking answers, Manly will concede the Newcastle Knights 8.5 on Footy Tab for our State Bank big game, whilst Canterbury just 2.5 against Canberra, Illawarra 4.5 against Souths, the Giants 5.5 over St George, those left standing out at Parramatta a conservative 3.5 against Penrith, Norths 9.5 over the Broncos, the Magpies 8.5 against the out-of-form Tigers, and Cronulla just 1.5 against bottom-placed Eastern.
Well, let's talk about rugby league first. And Parramatta are reeling tonight under an even bigger body blow than yesterday's 12-try humiliation by Manly. Brett Kenny is now definitely out for the rest of the season. Kenny has decided that he will undergo surgery to his injured knee and won't be back until 89, while the rest of the Eels are carrying scars of their own.
The Blue and Gold Army and the rest of Sydney were shocked yesterday at the avalanche of tries that swept down on an inept Parramatta. After all, the Eels are the team of the 80s and are led by the best player in the game. His performance was equally abysmal, but at least today he could look on the bright side.
Well, I got up this morning, Roy, and the sun was still shining, so I knew it wasn't the end of the world. You know, you probably can see it from where we are at the moment, but I suppose the beauty of our game is that you lick your wounds for a week and you got a chance to redeem yourself 7 days later.
Possibly the Eels can learn from their annihilators. After all, it was only 14 days ago that they were swept away by the Broncos.
To my way of thinking, you know, the biggest test is probably next Sunday, not what happened last Sunday. You know, a good side, a side with character and with ability will come back from a loss like that, as Manly did after, you know, the shellacking they got from the Broncos.
Parramatta forwards, minus their bookends Leadbeater and Bugden, are too small, although Sterling is too diplomatic to say so.
We've still got confidence in the blokes. We know they can do the job because they've done it in the past, and you know, as we said before we ran onto the field, you know, the 13 of us either live or die together. Unfortunately, we died on Sunday.